Welcome back to Pool School. Now we're going to talk about pool fence. We're going to look at this standard pool fence on this job here in Tappahannock, Virginia. We're going to take a look at the gates. We're going to talk about a lot of the different features of pool fence. Okay, so let's take a look. As you can see, this is a black aluminum pool fence, pretty standard. It's 48 inches tall. Alright, this client chose aluminum because of its sleek appearance and its low maintenance value. They're going to spend essentially no time at all taking care of this fence. Let's take a look at the gate and talk about some of the important features of a swimming pool fence gate. Alright, this fence is 48 inches tall, and if you take a look at this latch here, which is a magnetic latch, you can see that it does extend above the top of the fence. The latch does need to be 54 inches off the ground by code. That's why it does this. And another feature of this gate is that the latch needs to be self-latching. So if we open the gate, the latch needs to self-latch just like that. Okay, another important feature of pool fence gates, excuse me while I get this ready, is that they swing out away from the pool. They have to swing away from the pool. That's critical. Will not pass code if it does not swing away from the pool. Last thing on a pool fence gate is it needs to self-close. Okay? So, pool fence gates need to swing away from the pool, self-close and self-latch. The latch does need to be 54 inches off the ground. Minimum, that's nationwide building code. Some areas may require more height or even more restrictions than this. You can see that the fence ties in with this garage, okay? Then it goes back to the garage and then over to this house, okay? And if we walk over to this side, we'll see that the fence comes off the opposite side of the house. What that does is that places this house technically is part of the barrier of the pool. And that being the case, if the house is part of the barrier, any door that leads out to the fenced area around the pool has to have an alarm on it. There are specific requirements for that alarm, but that is very important and it will be checked by inspectors in most areas. You can see that in this case the fence layout is separated from the concrete, which gave them an area for landscaping, which you can see they've already begun. Another thing to notice that's very important is the picket spacing on this fence panel. If the horizontal members of the fence panel are closer than 45 inches, then those pickets cannot be more than about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches apart. But because these horizontal members, the top and the bottom rails, extend beyond that distance, then your pickets can be up to 4 inches apart. So this is a pretty typical pool fence panel, aluminum. Another standard fence panel is 54 inches, but instead of having one top rail, that fence panel has 2 top rails. It's a little more ornamental, looks a little more classy, but here we opted to go with the 48-inch fence simply so we didn't obstruct this beautiful view of the Rappahannock River here in Tappahannock, Virginia. So that wraps it up with pool fence. That's your standard fence requirements around the pool. This is a pretty standard installation, as you can see. Beautiful pool, beautiful setting. For more information, please continue to go to poolschool.us and riverpoolsandspas.com.